Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, got some information for you. Think this might prove to be beneficial and helpful. I just did a telephone conversation where I recorded, but you know what? It's not showing up as having recorded. And that is interesting because I definitely recorded. I started the recorder. I even heard the recorder shut off, and it did not record the call. That is very, very disheartening because the call that I was recording was to the clerk of the court administrative office, and the court building is in Colorado. Colorado has been given, in Denver, people a lot of problems when it comes to bankruptcy. We have an individual that was attempting to file a non-individual bankruptcy as instructed. So this is an update for the rest of you who are attempting to do this. See, the responses from the court, which you people are not giving me so that I can tell it to the public on video and give you what you should be responding with, is very disheartening. You know, the other disheartening thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I take the time to sit up here and to talk into this microphone, and some people receive benefit from my conversations on this microphone. Some people actually have success, but instead of telling me their success, either with the money orders and then sending me examples of what they did, they want to keep it to themselves. I wish I was like that. I wish I'd kept everything to myself. That way, they never would have known about the money order. That way, they never would have been able to discharge so much debt. Ladies and gentlemen, over $60 million worth of debt has been discharged since 2012. 60 million. Some people say, but it doesn't work. That's not true. It's been working. I can't show you somebody else's instrument because I have a copy of an instrument where somebody has used to pay off a $25,000 debt. I have copies of instruments, money orders, not promissory notes, that are upwards of $460,000 to $7 million, where individuals have been able to pay off debt. There is nothing unique about these money orders. Okay? There's nothing unique about them. These individuals who are doing them and who are having them honored are not doing anything unique. It's a hit and miss thing for most of you because you don't know what you're doing. You're just writing out a money order and not doing the research, trying to figure out what gives you the right. So somebody did a video showing you what gives you the right. Well, the number one thing that gives you the right to write a money order on your account with the Treasury is because it's your account. I showed you the statute, 31 CFR 363.27. You have an account. It's called a primary account. You don't have to know where the account is. Say that the Treasury is in charge of that. The custodians are in charge of that. Do you have to? Okay, watch this. I asked a lady this last night. I said, excuse me, you got a bank account? She says, yes, I do. I said, that bank account, do you need to ask anyone for permission to use that bank account? She said, no. I said, so, you don't have to ask nobody for permission. Why don't you have to ask people for permission? She said, because it's her account. Ladies and gentlemen, I showed you the statute where it says it's your account. The primary account belongs to you. You don't need nobody's permission. You don't need to know exactly where the account is. You don't need to know the finances. Your accountant handles that. It's your trust. All right, let's get back to the bankruptcy. Ladies and gentlemen, when he initially tried to file the non-individual bankruptcy, what they did And this is the ignorance of these individuals. What they did is they told him he couldn't do it. So he sat there and they had a back and forth. Finally, they said, we'll take your document and we're going to let the judge make the determination. You stupid cows. You're supposed to do that in the first place. The clerks cannot determine whether or not to file a document. They don't have the authority under law. So she reads a statute that speaks about individual filings and fee waivers in individual filings. I said, nowhere in the statute does it prohibit a fee waiver for a non-individual filing. You read where it said individual filing, but nowhere in there does it say that fee waivers are not applicable to non-individuals. I said, please stop doing that. Please stop thinking that you can talk to me that way, with which I will accept what you're saying. I said, I'm very specific. I asked specific questions. So she kept trying to take and change the conversation to something else by slight changes in wording. And I said, no, that's not what I said. This is what I said. And I said, I need the answer to that question, not the answer to your question, but the answer to mine. Well, sir, no, I didn't call here to have an argument. I called here to get your grievance procedure. Well, sir, we don't have a grievance procedure. What you can do is you can write the judge and you can get the judge to write you back. Miss, I didn't ask you about writing no judge. If I wanted to write the judge, I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd just be writing the judge. I'm asking for your specific policy procedure for filing agreements against employees. Well, we don't have that, sir. Excuse me? You don't have that? You're a government agency. You are an administrative agency. By law, you are required to have a grievance procedure. It is a First Amendment right and guarantee and requirement that there be a grievance procedure. Well, sir, we have an internal policy, again, but that's for employees. Excuse me? For employees? You don't get to do that. So she put me on speakerphone. Now, you know, when they put you on speakerphone, that's because they want somebody else to witness the conversation. That's why they put you on speakerphone. So they broadcasting, they're recording your call through somebody else's ears. So you go ahead and record their call. That's what I was trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. But it didn't work. I was trying because I wanted you to hear how she, in her words, were thinking she was going to trip me up. This is why you all need to do your research so that you can stand on your own. You don't need someone like me standing next to you saying, oh, no, what you doing asking him that question? You don't have the right to answer that question. She told me because I was calling regarding how they treated someone else. She told me she didn't feel comfortable discussing the back and forth that went on Friday with someone else and I wasn't there. I said, excuse me, I'm not asking you to discuss with me a conversation that went on last week. I'm talking and calling here about filing a complaint for you all interfering with someone's right to access the court. That's what I'm calling about. I'm not calling about no stupid conversation. I didn't use the word stupid. Trying to keep myself under control. I told her, I said, thus far you have lied to me. You have attempted to tell me something that I know for a fact is not true and passing it off as the truth. I said, that's why I'm calling, because this is what you people do to other people, but not here, not today. I said, every single time you have tried to change the conversation, change the subject matter. You don't get to do that. I didn't call to talk to you about all those other things you wanted to change the conversation to. We're going to focus on the fact that somebody came to your court to file some documents and you made a decision. See what they did is they told them they weren't going to file it, weren't going to do the fee waiver. So what he did, he changed the document, and he changed the document to where it read, pay attention, Non-individual, scratched out the non, made an individual filing. Then they told him, we need your social security number. You know what he gave him? He gave him the social security number. You know what I did? I called that person and I said, because I found out about it this morning because I was calling to let him know that there was some good news. But then he told me a little bit of the details of the conversation. He tried to tell me the details of the conversation on Saturday, but Saturday was a different conversation with a different group of individuals. So I told him, oh, no, you don't get to bring up that junk right now. That ain't part of this conversation. That's part of another conversation for another time, but not this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, he told me today about how they talked him in to filing bankruptcy. Excuse me? You ain't in no dire need to file bankruptcy. They talked him into filing bankruptcy when, get this, he's been barred by the court from filing bankruptcy for the next 8 years. So they talked him into filing bankruptcy as an individual. We ain't playing that. We ain't playing that. So I told him, I said, because you made an executive decision, because this is your life, that's your house, and so far they've tried to do a foreclosure sale 3 times now, and it's been forestalled. Okay? Little finagling, but been forestalled. They've been trying to go after that house since November. Like I told you all, I don't take full credit, but I take credit that every single person whose homes I've worked on, with the exception of one, and that's the one who did not tell me everything, left information out, so I didn't know what was going on. You know, he didn't tell me he had already gotten a judgment against him. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't tell me that they had already gone to court and gotten a judgment. If I had known that, he would have been right back into bankruptcy, filing bankruptcy again. So when they foreclosed on him, I said, you need to go down and file bankruptcy immediately. He didn't do that. So he lost the home. Not my fault. I told him what he needed to do. He didn't do it. That's the problem I've been having. A lot of the people are concerned about their home. They're concerned about their lives. They're concerned about what's going on in their lives. The only problem is many of them are procrastinators. I'll tell them to do something, and because they don't fully understand what I'm telling them to do, they'll go and they'll check with somebody else, or they'll rely on their own personal knowledge, and they don't do it. Or they only do it part way. Ladies and gentlemen, doing something half ASSS is equatable to not doing it at all. And so that's what's been happening. But every other person is still in their home. And we are getting ready. There's an educational process when you deal with me. You see, I purposely did not charge these people an arm and a leg. I charged them very little and gave them more than what I told them I would give them. Why? First, I don't want nobody saying, I'm a shyster, I'm a swindler. What they say, a scam artist is what they said I was. I don't want nobody ever saying that about me and it ever being true. I'm going to make sure that I keep my word as best as I can. So each of these individuals I have assisted, and they are still in their home. And we have a process that only SATCOM is doing. No one else is doing this. No other organization is doing this, and SATCOM is doing it. We have 3 programs which we're going to put each of these individuals through. One is a 7 to 15 day program where they'll have title to their property. That was finagling and understanding of things. The next one, by statute, is a 30-day process. However, because of mail back and forth and response, it can take up to 50 days, but no more than that, the person has title to their property. And the last one is a 90-day process. Okay? All according to statute. See, the problem is many people are out there looking at videos and not doing their own research, and they're doing the wrong research, looking up the wrong stuff. But because these processes are processes done through SATCOM, I can't reveal that to you. And they're all simple. Just takes a little bit of research, not a lot. The information is readily available. I know you're asking, what is it? And I'm going to tell you, you have to wait for SATCOM to introduce the fact that they're offering those programs to help people. But I will tell you, the second video coming out from SATCOM will let you guys know about that second program. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot put the word estate, even though estate explains exactly what's going on, because remember, the case law refers to it as an infant estate. The estate of an infant is the exact wording. So because case law refers to it as the infant estate, I've referred to it as the infant estate. Sorry, I stepped into the closet for a minute. Keep it in the closet. Oh, he's just out of the closet. Did you see him? He walked out of the closet. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little heads up. I put estate on the documents. You all don't know the definition of an estate. You don't know the statutory definition. Like I said, Congress has gone out of its way to prevent people from doing exactly what I'm telling you you have the right to do. And so they worded it such and such that they did not include estate as far as being an entity which can file bankruptcy. Ain't that special? So what do? Go back and name it a corporation, entity. Go back and name it, what do you call it, an agency. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Entities, agencies, corporations can file bankruptcy. So change it. We have had people successfully filing their non-individual bankruptcies, but these are the people I'm working with. None of you have called me to let me know about your non-individual bankruptcies. None of you. And I shouldn't have to chase you down, because you're coming to me, looking at my videos, getting this information, and what are you not doing? You're not keeping me apprised of nothing. And I take offense to that. That's right, I said it. I said I takes offense. Okay? I didn't say I take a gate. I said I takes offense to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the rest of this conversation because this video is about to end. You can't call it an estate because we had a judge respond and he had to look for a way out. And he said there's no provision within the bankruptcy code that permits an estate to file a Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. Only a Chapter 11. Oh well. So guess what? That's how you get around it. You call it something else other than an estate. Real simple. This is me giving you guys an update because I have not done mine yet. I am busy sitting up here working on some other things for some other people and putting some other things together, trying to make sure that when we finally prosecute our lawsuit, we have the right things in the lawsuit to where it doesn't get kicked out and thrown out. So because I'm doing all of that, I don't have time. I'm going to say it again because y'all didn't hear me. I don't have time to be sitting up here doing my own. And I'm about to do my own because I'm going to get tired of helping y'all. Now, I ain't going to never get tired of helping y'all. Y'all mean so much to me. Kizzy, would you tell them how much they mean to me? Thank you, Kizzy. You are wonderful. I feel the same way, Kizzy. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, dealing with these individuals, their job is to dishearten you. But you guys don't see that. Their job is to put you through so much that you don't want to be bothered with them no more. Their job is to stress you out so much that you give up, that you give in. Look, when they put me in that stupid institutional facility known as a prison, they were trying to get me to give up. Okay? I wrote a story, and it was called The Moment Plus and Minuses. And it dealt with this young man named Verdell. And he's running through the forest because he's being chased. And he's saying, "Come on, Verdell. Man, you can do this. Come on, they'll give up before you do." Okay? That's my philosophy in life. They will get tired of me before I get tired of them. You guys have to have the same philosophy. You have to have that, "Oh, I ain't giving up. Oh, no, I ain't quitting. Oh, no, I ain't walking away." Now, we're not talking about the point to where you're so stubborn that you shoot yourself in the head, the foot, the arm, the leg. No, we're not talking about that type of "I ain't giving up" type of stupidity. We're talking about the fact that they are going to put you through so much that make you wish you had left them alone. We want you to put them through so much to make them understand they need to leave you alone. Don't you understand that's why these guys are still in their home? Because I'm continually hitting them with paperwork, letting them know that this is going to cost them a lot more than they thought. So they're changing attorneys, they're changing mortgage overseer, financiers, and all these other stupid things. Because I know that their job is to milk you for every cent you got. So let me give you another clue. When you're doing a fee waiver, pay attention. And you have a foreclosure pending, or you have a judgment of any kind. I don't care if that judgment was from 4 years ago and it's still on the record and it's still showing up on your credit report. Ladies and gentlemen, your credit report is for monies now due. It shows what your debt is. You get to count that as your monthly expenses. So if you got a foreclosure and your home is worth $400 billion and your foreclosure against you is for $200 billion, you get to claim your monthly expenses are $200 billion because you have a debt collector claiming that they are due that money from you. Okay, you must pay your debts. You must pay your debts. It's a universal law. Unless your debt is forgiven. You know, you must forgive your debtors as you also want to be forgiven of your debts. So it's a universal law. You must pay your debts. So what do? Well, you tell them, "I need a fee waiver because my debts are something else." And there's nothing they can say. So that's how you get an automatic fee waiver. It doesn't matter if you bring in $400,000 a month, if your debt exceed $800 million. Do you not understand? It doesn't matter how much you're bringing in. As long as your debt outpaces the amount of money you're bringing in and brings down the cost of living value of your home, of your livelihood, you qualify for a fee waiver. But you guys don't know this, but you should know this. That's why you have to do the research. You can't keep coming to me for the research because all I'm doing is talking. What I haven't done is I haven't shown you no case law. I'm just talking. You have to do the research. I was talking to a person, he tells me, "Well, see, I sent you the information about an individual because when you were mentioning about the individual bankruptcy and the non-individual bankruptcy, I decided to look up the definition for individual bankruptcy." I said, "That's good because you did exactly what you were required to do. You looked it up for yourself." He says, "Yeah, but the people out there are not going to do it." I said, "I know they're not going to do it, but I keep telling them they have to do their own research." Okay? You guys have to do your own research. You're killing me softly. Wait here, son. Killing me softly. So stop killing me, people. Okay? Stop doing that. No, I'm not killing you with my voice. My voice is beautiful because Jesus told me. Yes, Jesus loved me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for listening today. I do hope that this information has been somewhat beneficial, educational, and informative, because that's what we do here, okay? We try to provide you with stuff you can't get nowhere else. Why? Because ain't nobody else gonna take the time to give this information to you. Go ahead, take a look at the people doing videos. Nobody's talking about this on video. I'm sorry, none of the people who were part of that guru stuff, they've all moved on. They've all jumped ship or in jail or on another subject, not doing any research. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been here. I ain't gone nowhere. Sacrifice. Life is all about sacrifice. And that's what this is all about. Sacrifice. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Thus, the two stories I wrote, one man's view of sacrifice and, let's see, one man's pain. Okay? It's all about sacrifice, people. And you have to be willing to sacrifice, or you're not going to save your home. That doesn't mean you have to be willing to give up something. You have to be willing to sacrifice that free time. Sitting up watching television, watching sports, when you could be doing some light research. Just light research. You don't have to do no major research. Light research. MC Light. Light as a feather. Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a very good day, everyone.